Fights, trades, injuries, and much more coming up right after this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching. I'm glad you're watching. I'm Caroline Haney, bringing you the 5 sports highlights for August 21st through 27th, 2017. First up this week, after months and months of anticipation, the fight between Floyd Mayweather and MMA fighter Conor McGregor finally took place on Saturday night. Despite most people thinking it would only go a few rounds, it actually went 10 rounds before Floyd Mayweather won by TKO in the 10th round. McGregor did much better than expected, landing 111 punches in those 10 rounds, which is 30 more than Manny Pacquiao landed in the full 12 rounds when they fought just a few years ago. This was Mayweather's 50th win in the ring, and his $100 million in winnings from Saturday night puts him in an exclusive class with Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan as the only athletes to achieve the $1 billion mark in career winnings. And number 2 this week, Floyd Mayweather and McGregor weren't the only two fighting it out. Earlier in the week, the New York Yankees and Detroit Tigers also duked it out on their own on the baseball field. It was a pretty eventful game with pitchers throwing at batters, ejections, bench clearing brawls. It had it all this week. When it was all said and done, 6 players and both team managers were ejected from the game, and the MLB handed down suspensions for 4 players. Those suspensions include the Tigers' Miguel Cabrera being suspended 7 games, and their pitcher Alex Wilson being suspended 4 games, and Yankees catchers Gary Sanchez and Austin Romine receiving 4 games and 2 games respectively. 4 players said that they intend to appeal those suspensions, and we'll let you know later this month in our update if that was the case. And number 3 this week, after months of speculation on Kyrie Irving's status with the Cavaliers, it has now been confirmed that the Cavs traded him to the Boston Celtics in exchange for Isaiah Thomas, a couple other players, and a 2018 draft pick. Kyrie asked to be traded at the conclusion of the Cavs' 2017 championship run, saying that he wanted a bigger role on a team and no longer wanted to play second fiddle to LeBron James. Trade has not officially gone through yet, as there were some issues with Isaiah Thomas's physicals as he was injured at the end of the 2017 season. But most experts say that it should go through, although it might take a little more negotiating on the parts of the teams. Again, we'll let you know in our August update what the status of that is and keep you posted on that. And number 4 this week, Dodgers pitcher Rich Hill almost reached perfection on the mound Wednesday night. Almost had the perfect game. Hill threw 8 perfect innings with the help of some amazing plays by his teammates as well. However, in the bottom of the 9th, his perfect bid ended due to an error by the third baseman. However, he still had a no-hitter going. The only problem was the Dodgers weren't scoring any runs either, so the game went to extra innings where his no-hitter was ruined in the 10th by a walk-off home run from Pirates second baseman Josh Harrison. This was the first time in MLB history that a walk-off home run has ended a no-hit bid, and it is the first time in the last 100 seasons of the MLB that a pitcher has thrown at least 9 innings, giving up 1 hit or less, no walks, and got himself a loss in the end. What a heartbreaker. The MLB actually is not crediting Hill with a no-hitter since the game was not over at 9 innings, even though he did have 9 innings of no-hit status. So this brings us to our question of the week. Do you think that the MLB should credit him with a no-hitter, since he did throw a standard game with a no-hitter, if you don't include the extra innings? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And number 5 this week, the Little League World Series wrapped up in Williamsport, Pennsylvania on Sunday afternoon. On Saturday, in the American Division, Texas beat North Carolina to become the American champions, and in the International Division, Japan beat Mexico to become the international champions. On Sunday, Japan and Texas played, and despite Texas hitting 2 home runs in the first inning, including the first one being the first pitch of the game, Japan got their bats rolling and came back to run rule the Texans with a 12-2 win in 5 innings. This is Japan's 5th World Series title since 2010. Congrats to the Japanese team and to the Texas boys, who have nothing to really hang their heads about as they defeated a great American field this season. And in overtime this week, the NFL preseason continued this past week, so I've got a lot of injuries to tell you about to keep you up to date for your fantasy football draft that I'm sure all of you are preparing for. Patriots receiver Julian Edelman tore his ACL this week and will be out for the season. Jags running back Leonard Fournette has been practicing without pads and is said to be on track to play Week 1. Kansas City running back Spencer Ware has a torn PCL in his knee and is likely to be out for the season. Giants receiver Odell Beckham Jr. has a right ankle sprain and may be unavailable for the start of the season, but is sure to play at some point. And Colts QB Andrew Luck appears to be out for Week 1 as he continues to recover from shoulder surgery. These, of course, are not all of the NFL injuries, but just some of the more notable ones. If you'd like some more tips for your fantasy football draft this season, be sure to check back later this week for a fantasy football special we're doing on 5 Things Sports channel. That's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want notifications about that fantasy football special or our updates or anything else, please be sure to hit that notification bell. If you see any highlights throughout the week you would like us to cover, please tweet at us at 5 Things Sports. Until next week, I'm Caroline Haney with 5 Things Sports, and I'll see you next time.